Hey, this is Alex.
And it's Mark.
And today we'll be reviewing, Mark, I'm probably going to butcher this, Evangelion?
Evangelion.
Evangelion.
Well, the internet says Evangelion, so...
Okay, we're going to go with Evangelion then. Today we'll be reviewing a movie called Evangelion 3.0, You Cannot Redo. It is an anime, it's an animated movie, right? Part of a series of movies called Evangelion.
Yeah. It's a remake of the original anime series
called
Neon
Genesis Evangelion.
Yep.
Right, and then there were two movies afterward.
So this is reimagining of that entire series and then those two movies, right?
Right.
And there are two parts before this one.
Yeah. But before we get into our review of the movie, which I think we're going to have a hard time discussing about it, Mark, what have you been up to, man?
Besides watching parts 1 and 2 of Evangelion,
which we will get into in our review.
Yeah, I guess our review will be kind of 1, 2, and 3 all kind of combined.
Kind of,
with the focus on 3.
Yeah.
But besides that, I finally got around to watching About Time.
Okay, yeah.
Directed by Richard Curtis, I believe.
Yeah. I think he did Notting Hill, I believe.
Yeah. I actually did enjoy the movie quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's a story about a guy that has the ability to travel back in time,
which is never explained. Kind of explained, but
not really. I mean, I guess it's kind of a plot point.
Yeah.
But his dad. So on his 21st birthday, his dad tells him that this sort of time traveling ability is passed down amongst the sons in the family.
Right, generation after generation.
So his dad has this ability. He himself has the ability, and I guess his grandparents and his uncle also do. But I guess ultimately it's also a story about love and kind of what he does with his ability to first fall in love with the girl. And whatnot. And it's also a story about, I guess, his relationship with his dad.
Yeah, which I find more interesting, to be honest. Well, I think that's more of the core, the meat of the movie, instead of the love story between him and Amy Adams.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, that's true, because I felt a little bit more emotional during the scenes between the son and the dad versus him and his girlfriend. Slash wife. I guess spoiler alert.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, that there are discrepancies with the time travel, and for me, I guess the movie was enjoyable enough to I guess if you kind of suspend your belief in that sense, it is pretty enjoyable. I mean, there's also another thing. The one thing that did bug me is, and this is spoiler.
Okay.
Is the fact that he didn't reveal to his wife,
which is kind
of
the
fact that he time traveled. So in a sense, it's kind of like he was cheating.
But
I guess the relationship, like he.
Yeah, I mean the ability to go back in time to do over and over again till you get it right. So you get a sense of the Groundhog Day movie effect.
Yeah, but I felt like during the movie, I was actually expecting there to be a conflict regarding that, because in the movie there wasn't really any conflict with the guy and the girl. The girl played by Rachel McAdams. I don't know. That's what I was expecting. Like he would reveal to Rachel McAdams, oh yeah, I have this ability, and I've been replaying, like all of my mistakes.
And
before.
Then she gets angry.
And then she gets angry, and then she kind of storms off. Yeah, that's exactly.
And then he goes back in time.
That's what I was expecting, but that didn't happen. I guess the conflict was more like with his sister. With him kind of changing the future, I guess, with his baby, and so he goes back to rescue his sister, and then the baby changes.
Yeah.
And then also letting go of his dad, because.
Yeah, like to me, I thought the movie wasn't really about anything in particular. Well, some part of it was about his dad, but to me it was more of like a window into a person's life. with an extraordinary ability. Yeah, you can talk about different conflicts between the sisters and the wife, but then at the end of the day, it's really about this guy living life with his disability.
Yeah, I mean, like the way the movie is initially set up, it's about him using this ability to find love, and that's exactly what he said when his dad introduced him to the ability.
Yeah.
But then, I guess the romantic aspect of it wasn't really played down the road. But I did enjoy the message of the film.
Yeah.
And I could relate to the characters.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the initial awkward romantic scenes, I thought they were very cute and they were well acted.
Yeah. Did you? It's more a personal question, but after watching the film, did you find yourself like wanting to spend more time with your dad?
I did, yeah.
I saw you did too.
No, it's funny because I was at home at my family's house.
Yeah.
After I watched this movie, I played ping pong with my dad because we have a ping pong table out in the back.
Did you let him win?
No.
Yeah. No, that's good, man.
But yeah, overall, if you could suspend your belief in some of these aspects, I thought it was a really enjoyable film.
Mm-hmm. I thought so too.
Yeah, it'll probably make like my top 10 of last year.
Yeah.
If I watched it last year.
Which made my top 10 of last year, so it's good that you're catching up into this film.
Yeah.
Anything else happened with you?
Nothing else movie wise. I guess my other time was just spent watching Evangelion 1.1 and 2.22 or whatever, however they title it. How about yourself?
I actually spent a lot of time this weekend watching films in general. I had a day off, or I took a day off just to watch movies, and I actually saw 4 films over the weekend. That'd be mean to see that
are not Neon or Evangelion.
Evangelion was
one of them.
Was not, well, technically was one of them.
3.0 was one. Yeah.
So I finally saw Amélie, was it? The French film. Very, very good film. Very whimsical. One of my favorite. Can't say it's my favorite, but
it is one of my favorites too.
Yeah. If I were to rate it, I'll probably give it an 8.5 or an 8.5 out of 10.
How did you like her character?
She was cool, man. I like
how she's trying to make the world a happier place.
Yeah. Like, I'm not saying that I find inspiration in her character, but like after watching her, I'm like, yeah, maybe I should do some good for people or something like that. But overall, I like her character because she's super resourceful, and that's always been attractive to me. I like the film a lot. So I also saw a movie called Short Term 12.
Yes.
I
gotta watch that.
Yeah, definitely watch it. It is such a good film.
That's probably next on my list.
Yeah, it is. I can't even describe it. I mean, I don't want to ruin it for you, but Mark. But this film is about like helping kids go through things, and just the main actress, I forgot her name, but she plays a really good role. And if she is nominated for Oscar, then she's worthy of it.
Was she nominated for the Golden Globes?
I don't know. I haven't been checking the Golden Globes, but Short Term 12 itself, the movie is really good, and I'm not saying it inspired me to do anything, but the thing that I do with my temple kids and stuff, I can't say it's sort of like this, but this is like an extreme version of that.
So for the 0 viewers out there, you are like a temple leader.
Kind of. You lead a group. Temple leader is kind of a wrong word, right? I mean, youth group leader kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah. And you lead a group of, I guess, I don't know, a couple dozen or a dozen people or kids, more or less. Teenagers.
I mean, I try to see them most often, but it's more of like a inspirational role. But yeah, pretty good film. Totally recommend it. Again, if I were to rate it, 8 maybe, 0.5. I also saw a movie called The Family, starring Robert De Niro and some other people. I don't remember. the way it was shown on the trailer, I thought it was supposed to be this really dark comedy type of film. But there were some humor in it, but I didn't think it was funny at all. I thought the movie was generic, and if I were to rate it, I'll probably give it a 6.5 or 7 or so. Would I recommend it? Yeah, maybe, but not like as much. There's so many good movies out there. And the last movie I saw was Blue Jasmine,
the Woody
Allen film, and I definitely would recommend that to you.
To me?
Yeah, to you. The only problem with that movie is I personally have have an issue with the ending, because it's sort of
spoiler.
That's fine. I don't think you.
I think I will watch that.
Okay. I won't say it, but Kate Blanchett did a wonderful job. I mean, she owns the character. But yeah, definitely a good movie. Recommended. Okay. I was gonna watch like 2 other movies or 4 other movies.
Which ones?
But to be honest, forgot.
Just so many movies.
Yeah, so many movies. I actually had a list of movies I was gonna watch the whole day, but
yeah,
I did not. But I think that's all.
I have one thing to say.
Yeah.
Michael Douglas.
Okay.
Is gonna be an Ant-Man.
Yes, I heard about that. Are you excited about that?
I'm excited. Anything Ant-Man. And another thing, just interesting, but we don't really do film news. But anyways, 24 is coming back.
24?
Yeah.
The show?
TV show, yeah.
Oh yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
It's only 12 hours, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was announced a while back.
Was it?
Yeah.
I guess I'm late.
It was announced a while back, but I think...
they confirmed it?
They confirmed it? What did you hear about it?
I just heard it was confirmed, yesterday was when I first learned that it was coming back. I didn't realize it was pre-announced.
They talk about it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's Jack Bauer, man. He's,
I haven't seen anything past season 4,
well,
so
now is a good time to come back. He's good.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, actually, one of these days, and then I'm going to tell the audience that I'm going to watch one season of 24 in real time, starting at the time in which they start the show or start the hour.
Yeah.
So I'm planning on watching season 3, and I think in season 3 they start at 3 a.m. So at 3 a.m. in the morning, I'm gonna wake up. I'm gonna start watching it, and then it's only 45 minutes an episode. So I have technically 15 minutes to do stuff. So that's when I brush my teeth.
So are you gonna pause the TV show?
No, not that crazy. Not that crazy. Just one episode per hour kind of thing until 24 hours later.
I see.
Which will kill me, but it'll be an interesting experience,
Yeah, I remember there are episodes where it's nighttime the entire time, and then it becomes daytime.
And it's going to be interesting because I'm going to look outside and be like, hey, it's daytime. And then hey, it's daytime.
It's like, this is happening right now, guys.
Right. I wanted to tell you one thing, though, which maybe you and I can consider doing. Gravity is coming back.
To theaters?
To theaters. And I know the last time we saw Gravity, it was in 3D. Or was it 3D?
It was 3D, but it wasn't IMAX 3D.
Yeah, so I was thinking maybe not high frame rate, but regular IMAX 3D. If you plan on watching it.
I've seen commercials still advertising it, but
no, they do have some in theater, but it's not in IMAX.
Okay, so it's coming back in IMAX 3D.
Yeah, so 900 theaters they're gonna be showing it.
I'd watch it again, yeah.
Yeah, so I was thinking of watching it again, but whatever.
Okay.
Let's get into the review, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, it's gonna be a hard one. Do you want to start this one?
Sure.
Okay.
We are reviewing Evangelion 3.0. You cannot redo.
You cannot redo, okay.
Not in parentheses for some reason.
They do that, actually.
Yeah, I know.
The first film and the second film was like that.
So the summary is, 14 years have passed since the near third impact. Most of the world has changed except Shinji Ikari, who awakens unaged in a new and strange environment. Misato has formed a group that has separated from Nerve The fight is far from over, but the biggest struggle might be against humans and former allies. The director is Hideaki Anno.
Yes, I should say that he's the creator, and he's
the creator also?
Creator of Evangelion.
The original? Or
the original.
Oh, okay.
And the remake. So pretty much everything that has to do with Evangelion.
So he's reimagining his previous series.
Yeah. So it's the same guy that's doing it.
Okay, I'll ask you a question, but after I finish
go for
this.
it.
The writer is the same guy, based on the Neon Genesis Evangelion anime series. It stars Shinji Ikari. Well, okay.
So
these are the characters. These are characters. I'm just reading the.
So characters. Those are.
Are these the American?
Yeah, they're the American
actors?
voice actors.
Okay, yeah. So when we watched it in the theaters, we actually saw the dub version.
Right. So Spike Spencer's one of them.
Yeah. I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, Tiffany Grant, whoever it is.
Yeah, I guess the Japanese one would be kind of the canonical version. Right?
I suppose so.
The tagline is "The extraordinary true story."
That's not true.
What is this list?
Sorry. I couldn't find a
I just want to point out that Alex provided me with this.
The sheet. My bad.
This sheet.
I couldn't find a tagline.
Okay. So it's an anime. Runtime is 96 minutes. It was released November 17th,
but we saw it
2012 in Japan, and it was released January 11th, 2014.
It's
in
the
US United States.
Yeah, but I also want to point out that the anime convention that happened in July, I think they showed it there before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so...
Okay.
I don't know the budget.
So before I ask you your first review, I guess.
Okay.
Why did he want to remake this? I guess the series. I mean, I didn't watch the original series. I've heard of it, but I didn't watch it. But what? So why did he want to remake the entire thing?
Okay, I'm not gonna. Okay, before we get into this, there are a couple of corrections that we should point out. Okay.
What's that?
Number one, like the thing we say. We're not like professional reviewer, and I gotta say we say things that just come to our mind, and stuff we research and things we think about. So I can't write all this out and say it. So
okay.
Secondly, I'm sure, and I before I even begin, I apologize to the anime fan out there.
Yeah.
That we're gonna butcher some stuff. Our information will be wrong, and probably is wrong.
Yeah, but please send us feedback. If
we'll love to discuss
zero listeners out there.
Yeah, so that is our our
yeah. So we're just covering our asses
in
the case that the unwashed anime.
Right. Well, I mean, we should also say that to all of our reviews.
I guess so. You're right. We're just two guys. I mean, I was never a film buff, but Alex dragged me along.
Yeah, and I'm not 100%. Like a film buff. I do this for fun, and I can't even like I could carry a film conversation, but I watch film for the sake of enjoyment. It's at the end of the day, do I enjoy it or not? Really?
Yeah.
Do I don't watch film because I'm gonna analyze this like in a 5-page essay about one small scene about life and death, whatever it is, right? So it's at the end of the day, Mark, you like it or not? Do I like it or not?
Yeah. If you want some pros, listen to Slash Film or Film Spotting.
Oh man, we are sponsoring those guys. Yeah. You know what? I do enjoy Slash Film.
Those are some good podcasts.
Yeah,
we're not trying to be, but maybe one day. I don't know. 5
years from now. That's how long it takes. Right?
But yeah. Anyways, answer the question.
So what was the question? Oh, why did you remake it? Okay, before I answer that question, I want to explain a little bit of history about Evangelion in general, okay? So Mark, this whole series, right? Like the whole Evangelion. So from my understanding, this guy named Anno, I'm not going to say his first name. I'm going to call him Anno from now on. Hideaki. Anno created this world of Evangelion, right? Created the two manga. Created the anime series, right? He came up with a story for the manga, but I think someone else
Yoshiyuki Sadamoto
wrote the story and then draw it. I think
did the art.
Like, did the art for it. Ano also did 2 movies at the end of the movie, at the end of the anime series. Now he's going back to do sort of a remake of the series with new information, with new character, with new content. And then he's calling it Rebuild of Evangelion. And the movie that we just saw is part 3 of a series of 4 films. The first movie being Evangelion. Evangelion 1.0, You Are Not Alone. The second film is Evangelion 2.0, You Cannot Advance. And the movie that we saw in theater is Evangelion 3.0, You Cannot Redo. And there's a 4th one that is coming in winter of 2015, Mark. That's 2 years from now. No, I'm sorry, that's next year.
Is it 2015?
2015 in winter, though.
Oh.
So
in Japan, though.
Shit, in Japan, that's right.
Yeah.
So that means it's going to be released sometime in 2016 for us.
Well, I mean, we can obviously get the Japanese version.
Yeah, we'll probably find a way to watch the Japanese version before that. The last one is called Final. That's it. Evangelion Final. Okay, the reason why he wants to go back and remake this is because he thinks that there's a lot of fans out there that want to sort of not continue but like revisit the story. There's an article I read about that somewhere. I'm sure you can look it up. So that's one thing. He thinks that the story can be told in a new light with better graphics. The story, or the core story would be there, but I think he wants to add more stuff in. So I'm not sure if I answered that question correctly.
So it's basically a revision of his previous works.
Yes.
Which it seems a lot of people already do enjoy.
Yeah, there's a massive fans.
It seems like there's a huge fan base. I mean, when I was in high school and college, I've heard of it.
Right.
I never got around to watching it.
Right.
Although I was somewhat of an anime fan back then. But yeah, I mean, it seems like there's already all this content out there. So why redo it?
I think the thing is because even with all the content, right, the story is not like coherent.
True.
Like I watched the anime. I haven't saw all the movie. I mean, this is like 10 years ago probably.
Yeah.
But I'm having a fuck. I can't remember anything. But I saw the first like 23 episodes, and it was going along just fine. And bam, the last 3 episodes or 4 episodes, it's like all weird. And then the movie came in, and I'm like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
So and then I'm like trying to analyze everything. Like, okay, fine. Okay, I guess I understand this. I guess this happened, kind of thing, right? But I think by watching this film, I feel that I understand it more now, and I really hope that the last film will not like butcher the ending as the anime and the 2 movies before that did. The 2 old movies, not the 2 new ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. I don't know. That's a little history of it, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, like he has depression problems and stuff like that. I don't know. Man. Yeah. It's some weird thing, and he's trying to tell a story of some sort. But
yeah, I mean the character is very
like
depressed.
So
I guess. Do you want to jump into the review then?
No. I'll ask a couple questions first. Mark, how did you see the film? I mean, not before that. Like, what happened?
How did I see it?
How did we start watching this? Actually, you know what? I'll tell that story, man.
Go ahead.
It all started when me and you and Matt had that dinner.
Lunch.
Sorry. At that Japanese restaurant, and then we're passing by like Sotel, and we saw like a poster of like Evangelion 3.0. And I'm like, hey, I saw like part 1, but I never seen part 2, and part 3. And I know part 3 is gonna be in theater in Pasadena. So anyways, and then I think I asked you, Mark, to go see part 1 and 2, and I also went back and saw part 1 and 2. Yeah. And then we both went to see part 3. How was the crowd?
The crowd was actually really interesting.
Okay.
They were a rowdy bunch.
At the beginning,
At the
least.
beginning, yeah. They were very young. Well, I mean, it seemed like high school to people in their 20s. I saw a few older people.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which was kind of cool. So it was a pretty diverse crowd, but it looked like a more geekier set.
Yeah,
I guess.
Or like anime
fans.
or anime. Yeah, fans.
I mean, like people you see at anime convention,
right?
Which isn't a bad thing.
Yeah,
it's just they look like a more enthusiastic bunch.
Right. Like one interesting. I was sitting next to a guy, right? You know, he's really into it, and not only that, like out of one sentence, the guy referenced like 10 anime that I noticed, right?
You mean he just said it out loud?
Yeah, he just said it out loud, like just referencing random stuff like here and there, right? And I swear, I think he just want to be heard or something. I mean, I'm sure he's talking to his friend next to him, but he was louder than
he's kind of showing off his
kind of,
his
yeah,
knowledge.
right. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, oh, that's cool, man, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, so that's the kind of fan that it's like that we experience. It's very enthusiastic, very like know their material kind of thing.
Yeah, unlike us.
And we're trying to review this film.
Yeah. So I guess we're coming at it. I mean, me even more so from the perspective that we're just kind of normal people who aren't really familiar with the original works. I mean, you are, but I'm not.
Right, but even I don't know like much about it. You know, I don't think this is the type of anime where you can just watch and then forget about it. I mean, watch for the story and then you understand the story afterward, and then that's it. It's like a Donnie Darko type of film or Donnie Darko type of series where you have to watch it multiple times to like fully realize what's going on.
Like Upstream Color.
Yeah, like Upstream Color or like Primer. It's like, what the? You watch the movie and like you sort of comprehend what's going on, but really there's so much stuff in there.
True.
You know. So anyways, I thought the crowd was cool. The best thing was when the movie started, right? Everyone was silent, right? Yeah. And then there was a guy that had a telephone on. I mean, had his cell phone on, and the guy in the back, hey, shut off the phone. And not only that, like the attendants came in, hey, shut off the damn phone. so everyone was like into the movie.
Don't do that in Florida though.
Why? You get shot?
You didn't hear the news?
Oh no.
Someone shot someone in Florida in a theater because he was texting. Some old guy. I guess he's a retired police officer.
Yeah.
There was a guy next to him that was texting, and then I guess they got into some argument, and then later on the guy came in with a gun and shot him, and he killed him. This was last night.
Oh wow.
It's crazy.
Guys, don't bring your phone in. If you do bring your phone in, sign it off. But, you know,
well, I mean,
movie stars, you better get out of it. You better like.
It's also, I mean, why he's just texting. I mean, do you have to kill him for that?
Well, I'm not gonna kill him, but this is one of those extreme examples.
Yeah, it's a little, it's crazy, but yeah. Back to
the film. So you want to go first? An overall impression.
Okay, all right.
So now that we talk about our background history of it,
taking my background into consideration, I had no idea, like, I didn't really know anything about the film beforehand. So seeing like the whole, I guess, mecha thing. I mean, it I guess this was done maybe a little bit earlier, but I've seen that done in other things, so I'm not sure which came first.
Okay.
But I thought it was kind of like, okay, I've seen this before.
Okay.
Like with Pacific Rim. But then again, Pacific Rim came out afterwards. And I guess it's not fair to kind of judge that based on that.
Del Toro, he's inspired, actually, by this.
You know. But it's also been in other things, right? Like,
there's a lot.
Power Rangers.
Technically Power Ranger, yeah.
So I guess that wasn't really...
The Japanese culture has a fascination with, like, mech.
That's true, yeah. I watched part 1, part 2. So I watched part 1 Friday night. I watched part 2 Saturday afternoon. And then we watched part 3 Saturday night. So
barely made it.
I basically or try to absorb everything within the span of like 24 hours.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, this is something. These movies are movies that you might need to rewatch over and over before you get it.
Mm-hmm.
So after watching all three in succession, I didn't get any of it.
Which part don't you get, or not which part, but like overall? I
guess
what is it that was confusing?
For one thing, it seems like they're withholding information.
Okay.
Like the whole human rebirth project.
The human instrumental
human instrumental project or whatever that Shinji's father is trying to put into motion.
Yeah.
I still don't. I guess they're trying to bring back the Earth to a clean slate or something. So they're trying to eradicate everybody, and then trying to, I guess, bring about humans that are pure. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. I don't know if I can figure out. We'll get into that a little bit.
And then it just seems like there's so many characters and there's so many different subplots and I don't know. It seems like maybe it's a little too subtle, or maybe they're not really explaining anything enough. Like after I watched part one, I was like, it's pretty, but what's going on?
Right.
And I guess I felt that same way after each movie also.
Yeah.
Although it seemed like with each movie it got prettier. The graphics.
Yes, I had to agree with that.
But yeah, I feel like I need to read some sort of reference guide.
Yeah.
Or maybe I should have some sort of understanding of the previous series, like the manga or the original anime, to really get the film, because it seems like there's a lot going on and I'm just kind of lost in the visuals.
So in terms of visual, then we'll get to the story in a bit. But in terms of visual, do you enjoy the visual? Do you like it? Was pretty?
Yeah, it was pretty spectacular, I thought.
Better than some of Pixar or different style.
Well, it's a different style. Okay. But I do like their style. It's like you're bringing anime into the 21st century, I guess.
Okay, so like I felt that it was very action packed.
Yeah.
The film, right?
Yeah.
Definitely the first 20 minutes was straight action.
Of the third film, right?
Yeah, this is talking about third film in general.
Yeah.
But yeah, like first 20 minutes, bam, right? And then they slow it back dramatically.
Yeah.
You know, and then the last 20 minutes, bam. And I thought that was really exciting.
It's like 3 acts, I guess.
Right, yeah. But yeah, I definitely agree with you that the graphic was spectacular. And you're right. The first film in 2006, it came out in 2006. It was good. You know, better than a lot of it. The next one was better, definitely.
Graphics wise.
Yeah, and then now this one is like all over the place. It's like really pretty to look at. Somehow it's cleaner.
It seems like I'm watching a PlayStation game or something, like those pre-rendered scenes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's what it reminded me of.
Right.
Because it seemed like they utilize a lot of 3D graphics.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that with this one.
Yeah.
Not a lot with the last one. But with this one, that definitely utilized like 3D graphics of some sort, right?
I mean, like
even if it's not like a 3D model or something, but like some kind of 3D animation type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you have shots where the camera's kind of rotating, and you could see the objects on screen kind of rotating along.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't really get that with the older 2D anime.
No,
films.
definitely not. And I can't wait for the next one because in 2 years, the technology is going to be much better. Yeah. So
I guess going back to my thoughts, I just don't get the film.
Okay.
I don't get it. So if I had to rate it, we'll get to that at the end.
What about like the voice acting? Because you saw it in anime, in Japanese, the first two, and then you saw this in like English dub. Were you taken aback?
Initially, I was. But I got over it really quickly.
Okay.
I guess I was more sucked in by the visuals because now that I'm not focused on reading the subtitles, I could kind of focus my attention on, more of the details of the visuals.
Yeah.
So I mean that was kind of cool. Although, if I were to watch anime, usually I prefer to watch the sub versions.
Yeah, I do too. I'm more into the original voice kind of thing.
Yeah. But I didn't mind the voice acting.
Okay. Yeah, same. I didn't think they did a bad job or anything. It was fine.
Yeah. Although watching the second Evangelion in Japanese, they have one of the characters is supposed to be American.
Yeah.
And she has this terrible
Japanese
accent. And she's like this blonde girl. So that kind of threw me off.
You know, one interesting fact, I guess, that I noticed, or interesting bit, is that the actors or voice actor, they're not. I'm not sure if they're famous or anything, but I couldn't recognize any of them from any like real like big movie stars, right? Compared to Studio Ghibli, where their voice actors are like well-known people. So I guess that's the one difference between Studio Ghibli films and this one.
So what are your thoughts on the movie?
More or less similar to yours. I was able to follow some of the plot line, you know, and sort of figure out what's sort of happening. But overall, it was a very confusing film. I actually went back the same night and I looked over like a Wikipedia of it, or like just read over the stuff that's happening, and it's like, well, wow, there's no way people could have picked this up.
Yeah.
You know? But I thought the visual was amazing, voice acting was cool, storyline was confusing as heck, but very pretty to look at. And, you know, again, we'll rate it at the end. Okay. But yeah, those are more or less my thoughts about it, man.
Okay.
So Mark, maybe I should explain just maybe a 5-minute summary of what's happening, right?
All right.
So a lot of shit happened in the past. Alright, they created First Impact. Alright.
Who's they?
Adam.
Adam and Lith.
And then Lith created First Impact. And the humans created the Second Impact. There's a Second Impact.
The humans created the Second Impact?
Kind of.
Or they triggered it?
They triggered the Second Impact.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that story was, I guess...
that happened a while back.
It was kind of alluded to in parts 1 and 2, I guess.
Right.
What's her name?
Misato.
Misato's dad or something, or I don't know. I don't remember, but and then that's why she's kind of on this.
Yeah. So the idea is that path of vengeance. But now the idea is that no matter what, Third Impact should not like occur. So what happened with Second Impact and First Impact? It sort of destroyed the world, kind of thing. Every time impact happened, it's like a meteor destroying the world. Every life will cease to exist. Okay, so that's why everyone's trying to stop the impact.
But not completely.
Completely.
Does it?
Yeah.
Because they triggered the Second Impact, right?
Right. The Second Impact was a small scale impact. It hasn't occurred yet.
Didn't it occur at the end of part 2?
Yeah. No. That's the Third Impact.
Oh yeah. Okay.
No. That actually So House explains that the First Impact happened, right? No one's there to stop it. Yeah. It killed all the angels. The Second Impact was partly occurred. Somehow they stopped part of it. That's why only Anarcha was destroyed. Okay. But during the Second Impact, side reference note, they compacted atoms into an embryonic state. You saw that. There was a suitcase that spy or that guy delivered to the father. Anyways, let's continue.
No.
It's in there.
Yeah,
okay. So the Third Impact that you saw in this movie, the end of part 2, right, is actually a continuation of the Second Impact. So technically, it's the second
and half impact or something.
The second half of the impact.
Yeah.
Right, which sort of like nearly destroyed the whole world again. Right. So every time impact happens, like world is just like the whole planet is near destroyed.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna stop there. So and the whole idea is like there's moves and counter moves, and people are trying to like start Third Impact, and people are trying to stop it.
Yeah. So Shinji's dad is
the ultimate villain of the film.
Yeah.
Okay, which is kind of interesting, right? Because like you didn't know that on part 2. part 2, you just thought that he's this guy that he's just trying to save humanity.
Right.
Right, but part 3 is when you realize that he is the ultimate antagonist. He's the bad guy, and he's trying to start third impact.
Okay, so I mean that kind of explains why he's so indifferent to his son.
Right.
He's just using him basically.
Right, but there's a reason why he wants to do it.
Yeah.
So his wife died.
Yeah.
So there is technically what he's trying to do is get back to his wife.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So the idea is that if you start third impact, everything is destroyed. The world destroyed. He's made into a different being, a higher being, and he can be with his wife. Something like that.
Okay. But isn't his wife encapsulated within like one of the Evas or something?
Okay. So how it works is that every person, right, has a soul.
Yeah.
Okay. So in this world, humans is technically part of Lith, the soul. Okay. I should point this out. Every Evangelion, every Eva that you see in there, right? The Eva itself has a soul, and the soul is usually the mother of the pilot. So Shinji's piloting Eva 1, his mom is a soul in there.
Oh.
Okay. Asuka piloting Eva 2, his mom is a soul.
Oh.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that's the whole idea behind it.
But they don't say that.
They don't say that. That's just implied. That's
I didn't even get that.
Yeah, that's in the movie. That's in the like anime show, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it kind of explains a little bit because I'm during the first movie I'm like, okay, so what's so special about this kid? How come he could pilot this thing and no other person can?
And you notice, right? Everyone, like the whole movie, for one thing, everyone is sort of messed up. Whoever pilots it.
That's true.
Right.
They're all like antisocial.
Right. And the movie, like this is not part of the movie, but like overall story of the movie or like the meaning of the movie. Everyone is trying to get out of that.
Mm-hmm.
The whole film is about kids trying to get out of that state of being where no one loves you, neglectful. It's about finding friends and things like that.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's the end of the world kind of thing too, but still, ultimately it's that. So continue on. So his move, counter move.
Yeah.
And then the boy that you saw,
his friend.
Kaworu?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? He's actually created on the second impact.
Okay.
He's not a normal boy. He's explained later on, but he is the 15th angel or whatever angel it is. 13th angel or something like that.
Okay.
I'm sure you have questions. Go for it. I think it's better if you ask me questions, man. I don't think I can like explain more.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could go on for like an hour with you explaining whatever.
The introduction, but I don't think so.
I guess it just requires so much context.
Yeah.
That the movie doesn't even explain.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I count that as kind of a negative towards the movie because I'm kind of confused as a person that as a non-reader of the manga or a non-watcher of the anime, the original anime. So and also I can't judge. I can't make any comparisons between the two based on that. But yeah, there's so much that wasn't explained. Like I said before, why was this kid chosen?
Special. Okay.
And I guess that's because his mother is the soul of his Eva. Yeah, and then like, what's the angels?
Okay, I'll explain the
There's
angel.
all that.
Okay. So I remember earlier I mentioned that, or maybe not, but angels are created by atoms. Okay, and the whole angel's purpose is judge humanity and see how far they come, kind of thing like that.
Okay.
But you always see them trying to like destroy the headquarters or trying to get into the headquarters, right?
Yeah.
The whole purpose is actually trying to merge with Adam again, to become one with Adam. And you asked me, where is Adam?
Yeah.
Adam is not that big woman. That's not Adam. That's Lith. Adam is in that embryonic like suitcase that guy gave to.
I see. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. And then
You should ask me where Eva came from. Why is there like Evangelion in the first place or ever?
Yeah.
So Eva, they're clones of Adams. Technically, except for number 1. Eva 1 is a clone of Lith. Okay, so that's why it makes him special. That's why it makes Shinji more special.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The way it works is that there, but you in the movie you saw that the purpose of Adam, or the purpose of the angels, I mean not angels but the Eva, was to destroy the angel, right? That's not the true purpose.
Okay.
The true purpose that Seely, that nerve, that the father is trying to do is use Eva to create the third impact, which you saw with Shinji and with everyone, with the other guy. So that's the true that's the true thing about Eva.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on, and then it seems like there's like some Christian overtones.
Oh yeah, okay. Let's forget about.
And we don't need to dive into that because I mean we can go on.
Yeah, let's.
But you could, I don't know.
Okay, well,
we could talk about it very briefly.
Okay, fine. Did you like the Christian overtone?
I guess it provides some sort of context,
Mm-hmm.
in the sense that it's trying to explain, or that's kind of its mythos, or that's trying to explain kind of the background to the entire thing.
Yeah.
Although they kind of change it around with the whole alien thing.
Yeah.
But I guess it kind of aligns with it a little bit. But I just found it kind of weird. Or
what was weird to me is why they started calling Adam and Lith and everyone else.
Yeah.
If the character, I'm not the creator, right? But like if I was a character in the film, and I'm calling this is Adam. Why would I call it Adam for? Why would I call this Angel? Why would I call this, so and so? That to me is weird if I were a character in the film. But definitely Anno is trying to reference all this myth. He's drawing from like Christianity. He's drawing from creation of the world kind of thing. So which to me I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool that it is reflecting or sort of grabbing from one to another. You're right. It does provide some context in what's happening in the film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know. I guess there's a lot of history, and maybe I want to talk about a little bit more about the characters now.
Yeah, definitely.
So
Shinji's a bitch.
Shinji, yeah,
he's a bitch.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. He's just so. It seems like he's dying for some sort of validation.
Attention?
Yeah. I guess his father was away, and he just wants someone to love him. And he's just this kid that I don't know. I guess he has no motivation to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So he's desperately trying to seek for some sort of validation from his father.
Yeah.
Who provides him absolutely nothing. I mean, he maybe pat him on the back after the first battle.
That's actually because Ray wanted him to be patted in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all because of Ray. And Ray, what she is.
A clone.
She's a clone of the mother.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, for kind of the main character, it's like pull yourself together, man.
Yeah, like there were many times where I'm like, oh my god, this guy's a little bitch. I want to kick his ass,
Yeah.
Then I guess you can think about it in terms of like his environment. Is he the person he is because of the way he grew up, kind of thing, right? Because technically his dad was the one that neglected him, right? His dad sent him to all this stuff, like he was not given love or whatever it is. You definitely would be messed up if that happened to you.
Yeah.
And if your mom died like that, is, I guess in some aspect, yeah. And
I guess kind of continuing along with within this film, the third film, he develops an interesting relationship with what's his name, Kaoru.
Kaoru. Yeah.
It was I mean, yeah, it just like we were watching it in the theater,
and the whole
crowd was going kind of crazy. They're like, oh,
yeah.
There.
It was. There's definitely like homosexual tendency, or not tendency, like overtone.
Yeah.
Between the two characters. I mean, it's not outright saying that they're like, you know.
It was very suggestive.
It was very suggestive. Yeah. And not only that, you notice Shinji, like he blushed a couple of times.
Yeah.
Right. So, dude, if you're a guy, you know, and you're hanging with your friend, why do you blush in front of him?
Yeah.
It could be that Shinji likes him.
I don't know.
You know. So. Yeah. Which it's not even that I'm more interested in, to be honest. I'm actually interested in the crowd and how they react to it.
Yeah.
It's like the crowd picked it up the first moment he shows up. Maybe it's because, you know, it was already hinted at because they saw the anime.
Was this in the anime also?
Series? Yeah, the series is sort of like that too. But now when you see it on screen, it's like, oh, okay, the characters are doing this, and the crowd are like, oh yeah, you know, like they knew what's going on. So it wasn't. I mean,
it was. They were kind of poking fun at it in a fun way.
Yeah, it was a fun way.
Yeah. But yeah, it was just so like some of the scenes are like they're like looking into each other's eyes, and then they say this phrase or something, and it's just so suggestive. It's obvious what's going on,
right?
But they try to play it like it's subtle or that it's innocent. Yeah. But I mean, if you were to watch it, it's kind of obvious.
Yeah. You know, speaking of innocent stuff, there was some messed up stuff in this series, man. Like, okay, in the movie itself, you know, like if like one messed up part, I guess, not messed up, but you know, Shinji technically like saw his mom naked. You think about it in that context, I'm like, interesting.
And yeah, in that same vein, it's kind of hinted that he likes her.
Yeah, like
I don't know, right. as a romantic partner. I mean, it seems like it's kind of that way, right?
Yeah, right.
I mean, he brings her gifts and food.
Yeah,
and he's always looking for her.
Right. It's weird how their dynamics or their relationship is in the film. I like they're good friends, I suppose, right?
But does Rei know? I guess even in her clone self.
I don't think Rei know.
Yeah.
I think Rei is totally and like innocent in everything.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, even her relationship with the dad.
She doesn't know.
Okay. Yeah.
Like she doesn't know anything about herself. Like her past is a mystery.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the dad just kind of keeps her around because he reminds.
Well, I mean, her dad keeps her around because like.
That's his. Well, that's the image of his wife.
They needed. She is the one that. Okay, so before you can build even Eva,
you
have to test it out somehow, right? Like in order to interface with Eva, you got to test it out. Like it was the one that did all the tests, and I'm sure a bunch of them die. Like, you know, a while back. In order to get that first ever working. That's why they clone her, by the way. Yeah, anyways. I mean, it's messed up. Would I want to see a dead clone of, you know, a teenager version of my wife? What? It's weird, man.
That's a weird question to ask.
Just a weird anime, you know? It's just...
Yeah. Okay, what about, I guess kind of switching gears. What about the other characters? Like the American girl. I'm sorry, I forget.
The blonde one? The one in red.
Yeah, and then there's also the other girl who's kind of like
the 4-eye.
The one with the glasses, and she's always acting very.
She's actually a brand new character.
She has a lot of attitude, and like she doesn't really she helps out in the battles, but only because she has to.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Like are they all working together?
Yeah,
kind of thing? Right?
It's weird.
It's weird. Like, dude, this is serious stuff. This is the end of humanity. I better be working with you. Oh no, I'm not. I'm gonna go ahead and do some other stuff. What the hell, man?
Yeah.
And then the character doesn't act
And then, like, what's the main girl, or not the main girl, but
Misato?
Misato. I mean, what's
What's
kind of the deal with her? Because in the first two movies, she's kind of like this
happy-go-lucky,
but she's also in charge of like the battles and stuff.
Yeah.
And she takes in Shinji, and it seems like she kind of wants to like him or something, but I don't know. It seems like
she has a tragic past too, by the way. She's the only one that survived Impact 2.
And she also provides a little bit of fan service.
Yeah.
But I don't know. These characters are so weird. I don't know if it's a Japanese thing or maybe I just don't get it. Or
I guess. Have you noticed that like after 14 years they don't age? I'm not talking about the character. I'm not talking about like Asuka or Shinji or the other girls.
Yeah,
I'm talking about like
they're not supposed to age.
Yeah, I'm talking about like Misato, and I'm talking about
the scientist lady.
Risuko?
You're talking about the scientist lady, the blonde one.
Yeah, like, they don't really.
Yeah, they don't look 14 years older, I guess.
Right, and then the father doesn't look 14 years older.
That's true.
Right, even the old man doesn't look 14 years older.
Yeah.
Hey, like 2 years went by.
That's
Nothing
true.
happened.
Yeah.
And
well, they're Japanese, so actually, never mind. They're not all Japanese. They're not supposed to age that.
Yeah. No, dude, that reference, man.
So anything else?
I don't know, man. Are you excited for the fourth one?
I honestly can't say that I am.
I'm actually excited.
To some extent I am,
things.
because I watched all of the first three,
Mm-hmm.
so I have to finish it. But at the same time, I'm like, this is a little too weird. But I mean, visually, it's great.
Stunning.
It's stunning. But the story is just, and the characters are just out there.
I like how they say like the last like minute or 2 minutes when they did a preview. I like how they say it's a fan service or continue a fan service for everyone or something like that.
Although, like I said in our first impressions, they didn't have as much fan service in the third one as they did in the first two. And fan service in terms of like women characters.
I didn't notice that actually.
Not that I was looking for it.
No, I'm not saying that.
It was like pretty blatant and kind of gratuitous in the first two, like the shower scenes or like the parts or scenes where the camera's kind of facing upwards.
Yeah.
So they didn't really have too much of that in the third one, which I don't know. For me, it's a little bit distracting, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess you're kind of catering to the otakus and stuff.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, now that I'm older, I guess I could kind of see through that. But like maybe when you're a teenager, it's like, cool.
Yeah. I want to ask you, what do you think? What do you think will happen in the fourth one? Knowing your knowledge right now, I mean, knowing how much. I mean, I'm sorry. With your knowledge of how much has been happening with the series.
I guess the most obvious thing is Shinji is going to somehow find out what his dad is trying to do.
Okay.
And he's going to possibly join back forces with
I think he's Willie now.
the other Steel or Wheelie or
Wheelie?
whatever, Seal.
No, Sealy is the main one. It is the like it's the floating monolith people group.
Okay, I don't know.
Yeah. Willie is the new branch that diverged from Nerve.
Right. So I guess that's what I'm guessing. So he's gonna go back to them and they're gonna fight off the dad, who's kind of the evil guy now.
Okay.
I guess it's finally been established.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna have some sort of epic battle that will save humanity or something. I don't know. That's my prediction.
That's interesting.
I could be wrong.
The ending for this show or like the movie, the other two movies, not the new one. It's very different, man.
Okay.
And you
No
got
spoilers.
I won't. But you got to take into the human instrumental project, something like that.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about that?
I don't know. I don't know.
I gotta say, Mark.
I guess it's like an attempt to purify the world again or something.
Yes, I think the way you describe that is correct.
Yeah.
The whole idea is do you want to put everything together, or have everyone come together and become one being, or not? And if you do, then you sort of can transcend into a different being, or do you want individuality? Anyways, Shinji will make that decision in the end. I don't know how it all happened now, man. How it's gonna play out. So, anyways, this is one of the hardest freaking review we did.
My brain hurts right now.
My brain hurts, and I can't even think. I don't even know what I'm saying half the time, man.
Direct all feedback to Alex.
No, bring it back to Duck Cinema. Oh God, I've been reading stuff about this, and it's all over the place, you know. Okay.
So final thought.
Final thought. I like the film. Graphic was awesome. Can't wait for the ending. Going to read more about just the storyline in general, or just plot details to fully understand what's going on. Probably will watch the third one again one more time just to enjoy the graphics. I'm looking forward to 2015, and if I were to rate this, I'll give it a 7. Mark, what about you?
Yeah, the visuals were amazing. I thought this is a very beautiful movie. Yeah, probably one of the best animations I've seen. But the storyline is it's hard to get if you don't know what's going on.
Right.
And I watched the first two, so the first two were fresh in my mind, and I still didn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And then I guess in terms of just this movie and kind of the story plot, it just felt kind of like it was all over the place. It was kind of disjointed. Mm-hmm. Like the relationship between Kaoru and Shinji, and then kind of the abandonment of everyone else from the first two movies. Abandoning Shinji, and then I guess him trying to rebuild, I guess, some sort of relationship with his father and I guess his crew there. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It was just seemed like it was all over the place, and this movie requires you to kind of understand the backstory, which the previous movies doesn't really give you. So for new viewers, it's kind of hard to get.
This is definitely a fan service. This is definitely a fan service to all the fans out there who love this series.
Yeah, but so for me, as someone that hasn't watched the originals, it was okay. I'd say watch it just for the visuals alone, but for the story, it's kind of hard to get.
Bring an encyclopedia of this.
I don't know.
Of the story.
Refer to like some sort of wiki. They probably have some wikis on.
Actually, they do. Even the wiki doesn't help.
Yeah, so I would give it a 6.8 out of 10.
Yeah. Okay.
Quacks. Quack.
6.8. Well, that's pretty good. I will say one more last thing though. It's one bad thing about it that haven't been said before is it's weird about how you see a tonal shift in the film. Like, you're right, the first two movie, was about building relationship from one and the other, and then you technically destroy the world, and then you start out with 14 years later, and you don't see anyone really anymore, except for the people that are involved in the whole film. In the storyline. But I don't know, that was just different. So very, very different. Finally seeing the father being all evil, and finally figuring out that he's the main antagonist. It's totally different from the previous film, part 2. You don't really know that. So I think that's it for this review. Mark, good luck editing it a little bit.
Yeah, my brain hurts already now.
What is our next review? Jack Ryan?
It could be, yeah.
Yeah, let's do Jack Ryan next week.
Seems like a fun, mindless film.
Yeah, no.
Well, not exactly
Yeah,
mindless,
but-
but compared to this movie,
Yeah.
this movie, yeah.
So check out us next week for Jack Ryan. We'll be doing a first impression probably on Sunday, maybe. Probably.
Yeah. I'll try to catch up on Short Term 12 and
Yeah, probably watching other films tonight or maybe tomorrow.
Dallas Buyers Club.
Yeah, I think we might have to do that one too, man.
Yeah.
A lot of good reviews, so. And
Yeah.
McConaughey won.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the Golden Globes, but
Maybe next
yeah,
week.
there's a bunch of
Yeah.
stuff.
Anyways, this is Alex, and you can find me at Navzella on Twitter.
And this is Mark, and you can find me on Twitter at MarkGX.
And we have a website, www.duckcinema.com.
And you can find Duck Cinema on Twitter at Duck Cinema.
And lastly, we do have iTunes. You can just do a search for Duck Cinema, 2 words, and that'll be us, the one with the duck, DC.
Yeah.
All right, Alex out.
Goodbye.